All right, let's delve into the story a little bit. Hills Like White Elephants. It opens up with the main characters, Jig and the American, at a train station, and they are in Spain. So they're at a junction. We already have a first symbol right here. The train station is a transitory place. You've come from somewhere, you're going to somewhere, and it's kind of just a stopping ground. It is not permanent. So this represents this transition of a decision that has to be made one way or the other. Also, the curtain made of strings of bamboo beads. You see that right here. This is also another symbol. There is a division, one side and the other. That's what a curtain does, but because it's made of these bamboo beads, it's transparent. So the character or characters can actually see through to the other side. From here, they start engaging in conversation about drinking. They do a lot of traveling and drinking. Now, the first thing she does is comments on the hills. She says that they look like white elephants. Now, this is a huge symbol in the story. It's the biggest symbol, and it's a dual symbol as well. Because A, a white elephant is the elephant in the room. Yes, is a problem that no one wants to address. But a white elephant also symbolizes fertility. So on one hand, the elephant for Jig could represent a chance to be a mother, but to the American, it is definitely the burden in the room because he wants nothing to do with it. So here he finally says it's a really simple operation. Now we're wondering what's wrong with her? What's going to happen with her? And he's trying to convince her that it's okay to do it. Well, he's talking about an abortion. They just let the air in and then it's all perfectly natural. So he seems to have a pretty good idea of what this entails. And she's just asking questions. What are we going to do afterwards? What makes you think we'll be fine? And then she looks at the curtain again. So there you go. Deeper things are at play here in the story. Then about halfway through, she flips a script on him with some reverse psychology. Okay, I'll do it because I don't care about me. Which basically means I'm doing this for you. Now that freaks him out. Because he says, I don't want you to do it if you feel that way. I am not taking responsibility for this decision. Yes, I'm going to try to persuade you, but in the end, you have to decide. And what's funny is her name is Jig, and that symbolizes a dance. And they kind of dance around everything in this story. They don't really take it head on. We could have everything. We could have the whole world. Meaning me, you, and the baby. We could have it all together. And he agrees we can have the whole world, but then she takes it back again. No, we can't. No, we can't. It isn't ours anymore. Because once they take it away, you never get it back. She's not feeling real good about their love right now. Because you would think that if somebody really loved you, if a man really loved a woman, he would be ecstatic if she were pregnant. He would be, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a dad. This is so amazing. Yeah, it might be hard, but I love you, and we're going to make it work. He wants nothing to do with that. So he tells her that she shouldn't feel a certain way, and this really sets her off. I don't feel any way, and then she drops in here, I just know things. So at the end of the story, she basically tells him to be quiet, that she's had enough of the conversation, and he should stop talking because it's over. Afterwards, he goes ahead to pick up the bags because the train's about to come, and she sits there and kind of gets to contemplate what's going to happen. What we do know is he wants her to have the abortion, but he's not going to take responsibility for it. He doesn't want to have the baby. He claims that he loves her, but he doesn't love the child. Here's where Hemingway just kind of leaves you at the end. She says, I feel fine. Now, when someone says, I feel fine, that's pretty much a stock answer for I'm not going to tell you how I feel. I am done sharing my feelings. We don't know what decision she's going to make at this point, but we do know that she's aware that he is not in it for the three of them. He's only in it if she terminates the child. So this is kind of what I did with my literature analysis and filling it out for Hills Like White Elephants. What happens in the story? This is my basic summary. A man and a woman are debating whether or not to have an abortion. What thematic purpose would go on here? How about major life decisions? Should be made with care. Do what makes you happy, not what makes other people happy. The value of true love is found when things get hard. Another interesting theme. It's easy to love somebody when everything's going good, when they're traveling around, drinking, having a good time. When some adversity strikes, that's when we find out who really cares and who doesn't. This is third person. The conflict is to have an abortion or not. The antagonist and the protagonist, we have Jig would be the good guy, and the American would be seen as the villain. Now, if we look through their eyes, he probably sees her as the villain because she won't go along with what he's saying. To him, this is very simple. It's an open and shut case. Here's where you have to be careful with protagonist antagonist, because it all depends on whose eyes we're looking through. Some symbols: train station, we talked about that one. The beaded curtain, we talked about the white elephant, which is very important for you to know. As far as the similarities and differences between the two, this would be for you to go ahead and cite a similarity and then cite a difference. Remember, I said just do one, but then you have to come up with the textual citation, the evidence to prove your point.